What has to happen for this to completely get initiated? There's a players vote today. Am I hearing that correctly?
Yeah, the NBPA will meet on a call with all of its players to, it's expected that this will go through. Adam Silver didn't just propose this 22-team format for it to get shot down by the NBPA. He's been having extensive dialogue with Michelle Roberts, Chris Paul, all the NBPA Players Union leadership. So that part is expected. What is still up in the air is what are the exact protocols in the bubble? I think there is still some lack of clarity for the players. They're still trying to understand what will it entail. Are we gonna be allowed to have family members at some point? I'm told no guests until the playoffs, and what will that entail? Will it be a couple people per round as you advance in the playoffs? So there are a lot of questions in terms of what the exact protocols and health and safety measures will be, and also the financial ramifications. What will the salary cap structure look like in the summer, for free agency that starts on October 18th, tentatively, and I'm told a moratorium that will only last 2 days. October 20th, it'll be lifted so guys can sign contracts. Usually the moratorium can be anywhere from 6 to 7 days. Now, because of this truncated schedule, 2 days. So there are a lot of financial and health and safety questions that the players will have to discuss today.
Did you say truncated there? That's a great word. Wow. Is that something you keep the dictionary near in dear?
I only bring it for the Pat McAfee Show. That's the only time I would.
How did they land on this idea? There was a lot of conversations happening about what they were going to do. The fact that they're all going to play 8 more games and add that to their previous record, and there's 13 teams from the West, 9 teams from the East. If the 9 seed is within 4 games after those 8 games are played, 9 plays 8, 8 plays 9 for that 8 seed. I mean, how does this become the layout? Because it seems rather complicated, but then once you figure it out, it's like that kind of makes sense actually, because it gives everybody kind of a shot in this thing. How did they figure out the 6 games within the 8th seed you can come? That's why there's 5 in the West, only 1 in the East. How did they get to this point?
Yeah, and you make a great point. That's what Adam Silver wanted to do. Is he wanted the teams below the 8th seed because if you're just going to go directly to the playoffs, you're not giving Portland, New Orleans, San Antonio, whoever, a chance to make the playoffs. Portland and New Orleans were 3.5 games back of Memphis, and you could make a very, very strong case that either New Orleans or Portland was going to make that 8th seed. So at least this way you give them some regular season games to have an opportunity. Like you said, it was pretty, it was difficult to understand at first, but you said it best. Like if Portland or New Orleans stays within 4 games, they will enter a play-in tournament, single elimination for the ninth for the 9th seed. So if the 9th seed wins game 1 of that series, they take it to game 2, and if they lose game 2, then they're done. So I think it's just giving any seed below 8th an opportunity. Now, why did they land on 22? I think that's the question around the league still. Like, why not just go to 20? Why not just leave out Washington? Why not just leave out Phoenix? Those teams, 5.5 games out, don't really have, those teams aren't that good. That's just the bottom line of the situation.
Shams, professional athletes.
Those teams are 5.5, 6 games out right now for a reason. And I think that's why Portland, they were the one team that argued and voted, no, we do not want 22 teams because this is not the smartest way to return for us. It should be 20 teams. So obviously Portland should be happy that they didn't go directly to the playoffs because they were only really considering 16, 20, 22, or 30.
Will they play the 8 games that they're going to play to finish out the regular season? Will those games be within your own conference? Because it would make a lot of sense that would have to be the case.
It'll be based on the current schedule that all these teams have, but obviously it'll be the next, the team that is actually going to be part of the bubble. So, if you're, Portland, and let's say you have the Knicks on your schedule for your next game, the Knicks obviously are not there in Orlando, so they'll go to the next game. And obviously the scheduling, which day it is, that'll all be sorted out by team.
Is this all? Did they do this because Damian Lillard said if there's no chance of me getting in, I'm not going to play, and then Portland ends up being the only team that votes no for this idea? That seems very interesting to me.
Well, what I'm told is the NBA and Adam Silver took Damian Lillard's words very seriously. I think Damian Lillard did provide a lot of pressure on the league to make sure that they get it right in terms of bringing in whatever format you come back. You have to give teams that are outside the playoff bubble right now a legitimate opportunity to make a run and try to get to the playoffs. Michael Jordan, here's something for you, Pat.
Yep.
You know, Michael Jordan was very, very vocal in the last owners call last week and basically said, guys, you know, Adam Silver, the rest of the owners, we need to value player safety, and you can't be bringing back players for meaningless games. It's not right. And I'm told that really rang true throughout, you know, Adam Silver, the league office, and the rest of the owners.
Sham, say that the Pelicans and Trailblazers are both 2 games within the 8 seed at the end of these 8 games. How are they doing tiebreakers to see who is that 9 seed that will play the 8 seed? Is it just based off of the normal regular season tiebreakers, or how's that going to play out?
What if there's 3 teams tied at 9 and there's 1 team at 8?
These are great questions. I don't have the direct answer for you.
Come on,
Sean! What do you mean?
Sean, what are you here for?
You guys caught me. I will when I do find the answer out, I will at you guys and let you guys know. I'm still waiting. I'm still waiting to see. Like, will they do head-to-head record? Will they do regular season record? Will they do in-conference record? You know, there's still a lot, Pat, that's up in the air. You know, for the NBA, I think this was a gigantic step in the right direction, but they still, you know, they're working on a 65 page health and safety protocol guideline, kind of like the MLB's, and so there's still a lot that they need to get across the finish line.
You're not allowed to say this because it's probably not allowed to be admitted, but the we're seeing underground videos, okay, on the internet of these NBA teams are running full courts right now. I mean, we got guys running 5-on-5 right now that are professional NBA players. We are not going to rat them out, but we have seen the videos of these people running full court. I don't think there's any conversation that the brand of basketball is going to be anywhere. I think this could potentially be some of the best basketball we've seen in a long time. Is that an inaccurate statement, or does that sound right?
No, I mean, these guys are staying in shape, and you know, I talked to someone who was at one of said workouts. Now, I don't know if this was 5-on-5 or you know, LeBron James. I reported a couple weeks ago, LeBron James was having these private workouts, you know, monitoring everyone's health and safety situation. Everyone involved was tested for coronavirus. So he's been working out with players, 1 to 2 teammates, really for the last month plus. And so, you know, have other players done the same? I think that's accurate. And so, you know, I was told that one of these said workouts that guys are putting on, you know, weight in a good way, muscle. Like I think players have used this time off to really work on their body and try to get in game shape. I don't think anyone wants to come back and be that guy that's gotten bigger and out of shape for the wrong reason.
What were you going to say there, Shams? You want to say fat? You were going to say fat. Whoa, Shams.
Whoa.
Shams, let it out, man. Just let it out of you there.
I was looking for the right word here. You know, I got to come with elevated word and verbiage on your show.
Oh, respect. Kevin Durant. Okay. There's been videos on Fox Sports 1 of him shooting. I don't know if they're recent or if they were long ago. I guess the Nets have come out and said that Kevin Durant and Kyrie Irving won't play. How does that happen? Because this is going to take over everything. I would assume that Kevin Durant and Kyrie Irving would want to be a part of something where they're going to run 6 games a day, they said. I mean, this is going to take over the internet. This is going to take over the media. I mean, this feels like something, if you're a superstar player and you can play and you have a chance to win a championship with 8 games and a couple of best-of-7 series, you go and get that. But they were saying, since it is the 8-game setup into the playoffs, there might be too many back-to-backs for them to clear or something of that nature. Why would the thought be that KD and Kyrie won't be playing, and also John Wall in that conversation as well?
Yeah, you know, my feeling has always been, you know, in talking to people involved with all these players and just in general, given what's going on with this hiatus and really the world at large, is that the players that were already listed as out for the year, you know, John Wall, Klay Thompson, Steph, you know, obviously Steph Curry came back. They're not playing anymore. Kevin Durant, Kyrie Irving, that these guys would not return whenever the season resumed. And I'm told, you know, within the Nets, the expectation still remains that Kevin Durant will not return. But again, you know, it'll be up to him. It'll be up to Kyrie Irving. You know, I was told the other week that Kyrie Irving has resumed workouts on the court. And so, you know, you're putting the preparation in to try to play. But at the end of the day, it's going to be tough to ask these guys after, you know, 3-4 months layoff to return to the floor after a year off in a truncated schedule. I'm using the word again, you know, in an abbreviated timeline and just try to ramp everything up. It's tough. And Kevin Durant came back, early
Oh,
quote
yeah.
unquote prior, and I just don't know how much incentive there is for him to do the same. Whereas next year you can really have a fresh approach to the season.
I guess that's the much smarter way to look at it. I just wanted to see Kevin Durant get wet out there and Kyrie just shake people.